Hey guys, the topic I chose for this week's informative speech is dirt bikes. I've been riding dirt bikes ever since I was really young, probably about 8 years old. It's been a passion for mine for as long as I can remember. I've had many different dirt bikes up the past. Started out with a PW80 Yamaha. It's my very first dirt bike, and I was absolutely ecstatic when I got it. I probably rode it every single day for as long as I can remember. I used to ride with my buddies all the time. I have a farm back at home, and I would go out there and ride almost every single day. Absolutely loved it. Um, I also used to go riding a lot with my uncle. He took me riding all over the state. I went places like Lake Barkley, Land Between the Lakes, Clay City. Um, it's just great. It's fun to be outdoors. It's fun to do what you love, and I had a blast doing it every single time I went out to ride. Um, when I was young, I also used to ride with my buddy every single summer at the golf course. It's probably the most fun thing I've ever done. He actually owned it, and we got to ride out there almost every single day, riding up and down the roads, going anywhere we wanted to. It was awesome. Um, One thing that's interesting about dirt bikes is there's two strokes and four strokes. Really different. I've had both. I started off with a PW80 Yamaha, and then I had a XR80, which is a Honda, and then I had a KX100 Kawasaki, which is actually a two-stroke. After that, I had a CRF 230, and then the dirt bike I have now, which is a KX450. The difference between a two-stroke and a four-stroke is really different. Two strokes have what they call a power band, where four strokes power is just mainly constant. Two stroke, you also have to mix the gas whenever you're riding. You have to pre-mix the gas every single time with two stroke oil, and you put it in a gas tank and you blend it up, and then you put it in the dirt bike after you're done. Two strokes have a power band. It's really interesting. Unlike four strokes, where the power is constant, two strokes almost like a turbo, where once you get to a certain RPM, the power band kicks in and it makes an enormous amount of power. It's pretty fun. Um, One thing I've also done a little bit is motocross. I'm not real big into motocross, but one of my buddies is, and he goes all the time. And there's some things about that that's really interesting. He has a KX450 also, and there are many different classes you can ride in. There's an amateur class, pro class, and a couple more in between, and it all depends on the skill level. One of a lot of the really good riders, they ride in the pro class, but people just starting out, like my buddy, he rides in the amateur class, and you can go all over the state and all over the world doing it, and that's how people get started. Um, there's races practically every weekend here in Kentucky and all around the state, and there's actually a club you can get in that's has a point system. In every race, you get a certain amount of points, kind of like NASCAR or something. Um, you just keep getting points, and then you can win tournaments, and like you win a trophy every time you go out and stuff. It's pretty neat. Um, there's also a different kind of race though that's called a hare scramble. Hare scramble is completely different than motocross. Hare scramble is it's a trail riding, so mainly four strokes are used for trail riding, but two strokes are also used if they just have to be set up a little differently. But in hare scrambles, you go to an off-road place, not jumps and stuff like motocross, but you go off-road, and a lot of times they have it a track set up through the woods, and just like how any motocross race starts off, you all just start, and you just go through the woods. You got to jump through creeks, over trees, many different obstacles you got to go through, mud puddles, everything. And Honestly, I prefer that a lot more than motocross, but um, they're both really fascinating and they're fun to watch and fun to ride in. And that's my topic.